welcome back to Blackpack Homestead. Today is Friday, Fun Day Friday, August the 2nd, 2019, and so we're going into the last month of summer. It can be really sad when things start to die back, and while we still can, let's do a foraging video. I forage for my rabbits. I try to do it every day. It doesn't necessarily happen every day, but I do my best to do that. So let's do a little rabbit forage this morning. Just about everything I'm going to show you is edible by humans as well. If it is not edible by humans, I will say it is not edible by humans unless you just really want to eat pear leaves and pear sticks, because that's one of the things we're going to forage today. Alright, first thing we're going to forage is broadleaf plantain. It kind of tastes like spinach. You would cook it down and saute it up, much like that. There are two varieties of plantain, and this variety is broadleaf plantain. So let's check out some broadleaf plantain. Okay, if you look right here, that little plant right there that's like flattened out, that is broadleaf plantain. And this is what the seeds look like when it starts to go to seed, okay? Okay, and you can tell broadleaf plantain, obviously, the leaf is broad. The leaf is broad. Where'd my leaf go? The leaf is broad, and it has these little ribs that run up the back. When we get to narrowleaf plantain, you'll notice those same ribs. So there it is, broadleaf plantain. I'm gonna harvest up some, and I'll be back with you in a second. Hey Enoch, you want me to throw your frisbee right quick? Okay, you ready, Enoch? You ready? Go get it, buddy. Drop it. You ready? Go get it. Good catch. When he was born, I said I was gonna have a frisbee Pomeranian. There he is. Okay, drop. Sorry, one more throw. Alright, we've got our plantain. We've got our broadleaf plantain right there. And you'll notice in my basket there are a few clover flowers. There's a clover flower. And there's regular 3-leaf clover. We're gonna get a little bit of that next. The thing, whoa, as my camera falls. The thing about clover, no, we not. The thing about clover is you need to make sure that the clover flowers you pick are very tight budded and very fresh. Because there was once upon a time, a long time ago, Chris has told this story before, that there were these cows in this pasture and they were just like dying. And come to find out, they were eating old clover flowers and old clover, and it had a fungus on it that is similar to blood thinner, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. So anyway, that's why I always look for really tight budded flowers. Now let's harvest some clover flowers. Or not clover flowers, well, clover flowers and clover greens. See the clover? Enoch, no, please son, I'm busy. He wants to play. So I just grab a clump and cut. Put you up there. So I'll just grab a clump, make sure my flour's good. Grab a clump and cut and throw it in my basket. And these flowers are too old, so I'll pull them out. And that's a really young one. Okay, now that we have our clover and some broadleaf plantain, let's go over here to the pear tree and cut a few suckers off for the rabbits. Listen, you'll hear crowbar crow. It's a new sound at the homestead. We hear you, crowbar. The puppies are barking. Sorry about that, guys. Hush! So let's cut some suckers off of my pear tree. Okay, we've got pear limbs, some clover, and some broadleaf plantain. So that's what's on the menu for the rabbits. Whoa. That's what's on the menu for the rabbits so far. Let's go on down here into the garden area, and I'm gonna show you lamb's quarter. Lamb's quarter, we hear you, Crowbar. Lamb's quarter tastes, I think every wild edible must, to me, taste like spinach. I don't know, but kind of tastes like spinach. And you know, if you were gonna eat it, you could eat it raw in a salad. You cook it down like you would any green, you know. So there you go. So this is lamb's quarter. They don't usually get this big because most of the time people will mow them down in their yard, you know, and stuff like that. And it has this leaf that, let me hold it in my hand, all that green, that is reminiscent of a duck foot. Okay? And that is lamb's quarter. The chickens like it, the birds like, the quail like it, and the rabbits like it. So I'm gonna get a limb of this here lamb's quarter to feed to the rabbits. So let's see here. I'm just gonna get a whole limb. There we go. And there we go. And I'll just pick off that and give it to the rabbits. And there's some lamb's quarter. Let me lay that across my basket. Wow, look how tall my corn's getting. And the sunflowers. We did cut some tassels off the sorghum. I don't know if you can see that with as bright as it is. We cut some tassels off the sorghum yesterday to try and see, you know, drying it and seeing how long it takes, and, you know, basically experimenting, because we've never grown sorghum before. So now let's head down here to the very bottom of the garden where the wood sorrel has taken over. Wood sorrel. A lot of you guys might have called this sour grass when you were a kid. I did. And that is what it looks like. It is very reminiscent of a 3-leaf clover, but it has these little yellow flowers. And it grows on a stalk, and it spreads, and it's a vine. But the rabbits love it. So that is wood sorrel. So I'm gonna walk over here and grab a bunch of wood sorrel. Arthur loves wood sorrel. It is probably his, I don't want that poke, his favorite thing. He loves wood sorrel. I think if that rabbit would eat nothing else, he would definitely eat some wood sorrel. So I'm just grabbing up a bunch of it, just by the roots, because believe me, it'll come back. It has like these crazy seeds, little seed pods, and it spreads like crazy. Now then, I'm sweating. Now then, that should be plenty of wood sorrel to share with the rabbits. Next thing we're gonna get is actually, there's some right here. I'm gonna get my scissors. We're gonna get some cleavers. Cleavers are nature's Velcro. I'm gonna sit you down here in the corn. Okay, sit there in the corn. What do you think? Do you like your spot in the corn? Is that a good spot? Okay, here's cleavers. That's cleavers. Okay. Now, I can't get around the corn. Cleavers. They call it also, boy, that camera's crooked. Okay. Cleavers. They also known as stick tight, nature's Velcro. All right. So let me cut some, and I'll show you why it's called nature's Velcro or stick tight. Once again, you can eat these. The texture's a little funky because it does stick together. Okay, so you've got this cute little, if I can get around the corn, plant with its 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves surrounding the stem. Can you see that? There we go. And 6 leaves surrounding the stem. And then it has a really cool quality where it goes, they stick together. You can stick them to yourself. See, look, you never lose the stick time. And the rabbits like it. I've eaten a little bit of it raw, but never like a lot of it. So I've never cooked it, but from what I understand, you'd just cook it down like you would any greens. Yes. So that is cleavers, which we showed you guys in a previous video, but the rabbits like it. So there they are, one more time. Don't get confused by this wood sorrel right here. That's wood sorrel. This is cleavers. Okay? Wood sorrel. Cleavers. Let's go back to our forage basket and deposit the stuff. Oh my. Our basket's getting full. My glasses are gonna fog up because I'm sweating. Look at all that. Ton of wood sorrel, which I'm gonna go ahead and cut the roots off. If I can see, my glasses are fogging up. Humidity in the mountains. Now, let's go find some narrow leaf plantain. Let's do that. Let's go up here to what I like to call the plantain forest. Oh, we just have to stop. We just have to stop. Do you know why? Because we're here at the Ultimate Chicken Tractor. Hello, crowbar and lattice. Hello. Hello. Hello, my chickies. And the babies are back there in their crib. See the babies way back there? And they're leaving the crib. No eggs yet, so I'm just thinking Lattice needs more time to settle in. There's the chickies. Chickies. Hey, chickies, what you doing? I'm thinking they gotta be girls because nobody's got a comb yet and they're 2 months old. So yeah. And there's Crowbar and Lattice down there doing their thing. Enough with my new animal. I tell you, I just love to watch them. I could watch them like forever. Alright, let's go up here to the plantain forest and walk through the very tall grass. Because kind of let this grow so I'd have some tall grass to feed my rabbits. And so that's what I did. Alright, up here's the plantain forest. It's all like, oh. Guys, I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on this to happen because I want to feed them to my rabbits. My Rosa Sharon has bloomed. Yay! So let's go check it out. Looky, 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 looky. My Rose of Sharon has bloomed. It took it till August. You know what's gonna happen to that? We're gonna cut it off and feed it to the rabbits. The rabbits really like these. Yes. Before I do the Rose of Sharon thing, let's talk about the plantain. The narrowleaf plantain, which is right here. See the narrowleaf plantain? Do you see why I call this section the plantain forest? Yep. A lot of plantain grows here. Let's look at a leaf here. Obviously, narrowleaf plantain is very narrow. Very narrow. And if you notice, okay, so if you notice, it is a very long, narrow leaf. And it has those same ribs, you know, on it, that the same kind of ribs that are on the plantain that is broadleaf. So that is narrow leaf plantain. So, as you can see, my glasses are very fogged up. So, let's get some of this plantain. One beautiful flower for my rabbits. Two beautiful flowers for my rabbits. Yay! Yay! Member of the hibiscus family. A lot of people say that it's not edible, but from what I understand it is. I mean, you shouldn't eat copious amounts of it, but from what I understand it is edible. I'm going around blind. If I don't have my glasses on, it's because I'm sweating and I can't handle it. Alright, let us sit down right here in the grass next to the rabbit, and we'll talk about what we've got. Okay, I don't know how good that shot is, but let's talk about what we foraged. Okay, so the last thing we foraged was narrow leaf plantain. Plantain it grows everywhere, all over your yard usually, and it has the ribs. This one has 6 ribs. I don't know if there's a specific number, but look for those ribs. They're very, very noticeable. And then we also got some broadleaf plantain, which looks like that. If you remember, let's see if I can, there we go. Like that, and it also has the ribs, and it's broad. Okay, that's 2 of our forage items. And then don't forget, we foraged some white clover. There's the clover flower. There's the clover flower. And then, of course, the classic 3-leaf clover leaf. And we also foraged some wood sorrel. I didn't get the root cut off that one. Some wood sorrel. And it's a very viney, stemmy plant. It grows pretty much everywhere in your yard or the edges of your house in shade. It really likes a lot of shade, but it'll grow anywhere. And it has, this is how it goes to seed. It has these little bean-like things on it, and that's where the seeds are. And it has a yellow flower. Now, I do understand that there is white and pink wood sorrel as well, but all I have around here is the yellow. So there is our wood sorrel, our plantain, our clover, and we have our cleavers or stick tight. Cleavers or stick tight, whichever you want to call it. Nature's Velcro. Right there it is. You can see that. It's kind of overcast out here today and very humid, so I'm having a hard time getting good shots with my light so you can see. And there's that. That is cleavers or stick tight. And then we have some lamb's quarter. Remember lamb's quarter? Looks like a duck foot. Very much like a duck foot. And the back is silvery. I don't know if you can tell that's silvery, but the back of the leaf is silvery. And if you look at the stem, it has like little purple right there, and it has these darker green stripes. Can you appreciate that? I don't know, because the way the light's going. And after that, we have our pear suckers and pear limbs that have now hardened off. It's really good for the rabbits to chew this. Helps wear their teeth down, and they love to eat the young ones like this. They absolutely love it. I mean, if you want to eat pear leaves and a pear stick, I don't recommend it, but everything else here has been edible for humans as well. And then last but not least, I've been waiting on these to bloom, is our Rose of Sharon. Our Rose of Sharon. So pretty. It is in the hibiscus family. I've heard some people say it's not edible. Chris says that it is edible, and I believe my husband, he knows his stuff. So, but it's up to your discretion. Realize I am not a master forager, and I don't know everything there is to know about plants. I know what I've learned through the internet and what Chris learned in school and all that kind of good stuff. So, just remember to do your own research before you eat any wild edible, because you never know, you know. So, do your research. Anyway, there is our last forage item. So now I'm going to gather up the hay and the bowls and get their rabbit salad ready, you know, their greens ready in their bowls, and then we'll get a few shots of them eating their greens. Okay guys, back in a second. So it's always good to give rabbits some grass hay. Not straw, not anything like that. You want it to be grass. Whether that looks like Bermuda grass, sawgrass, whatever it is that's in your local feed store, you know, that's what you gotta use. So, yeah, so we feed them grass hay. They get alfalfa pellets, which come from Southern States, which is a local feed store. And the feed that we feed them has 18% protein. It is recommended to have 16% minimum for meat rabbits. So we, you know, went ahead with the 18%, and that's good for all stages of life. And it is alfalfa based, so I don't feed any other kind of alfalfa. I also wanted to mention that the items you saw me forage today are not, I don't forage those same things every day. Like, for instance, you might notice I didn't get any dandelion today. They had dandelion yesterday. So it just varies from day to day. What looks good that day, what's growing. And so pretty much what I foraged today is what's growing. So yeah, I guess that does it for the forage video for the rabbits and talking about what we feed our rabbits. If you have any questions pertaining to raising meat rabbits, give me a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer your question, and if I can't answer it, we'll find somebody who can. Don't forget to share this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I want to say thank you to our awesome new subscribers. I believe as of this morning we were at 460 something, so 465 subscribers as of this morning. So yeah, we're growing and we're happy to have all you guys along for the journey and the crazy roller coaster that is our life on our homestead. So we'll see you here next time at the Black Pack Homestead. God bless and bye bye.